is it too premature to distribute this until we've done this exercise?
I
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Well, I know last month we talked about that we can share it. I think we're ready to share it, I'll just need the electronic copy.
Mhm.
I mean, unless it's
Are
different
we,
than
are we
what
feeling like, well, so the procedure as I understood it was that we were supposed to come up with a draft. We're supposed to present it to the planning board for approval by the planning board, I guess. The
Yeah.
planning board technically approves it, and then the planning board submits it to the selectmen,
Mhm.
Yeah.
is the process I understood. So do we do that like at this planning board meeting that's gonna happen in 5 minutes? Present it to the planning, well, I guess it's not.
It's premature to present it to the
Yeah.
planning board. I think we need to rate and rank everything.
Yes, okay.
Come
Yeah.
up with that 6-year plan
Yep.
and present it to the planning board. And I don't care if it gets out in the public, but like, I'm hesitant about that because that starts some buzz out there and then misinformation gets started
Right.
and it's like a steamroller coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Right.
really hard to fend off BS when it's
So
headed your
we'll
way.
share it when we get it weighed and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree,
Yep,
that's
yep,
good.
yep.
Steve, there's one more item we might want to add on as PPE.
PPE,
Yes,
Personal protective equipment.
personal.
belts and stuff, that after so many years, you gotta replace them.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit more about the PPE? What is it? And,
That'd be your fire coats, your helmets,
okay, so coats, helmets.
all that stuff that replaced every so many years.
Moisture gear too.
Yeah,
And helmets. Boots.
Boots.
you're looking at $3,000 per person.
Okay, so $3,000 per person
Yeah.
times how many people?
Right now, we got about 12,
Times
I'd say 15.
12.
We do have a grant I filled out, went
So
to.
we're talking about $36,000 and $40,000.
Yeah, that's over a period, not gonna be replaced all at once.
And they're only good for 10 years.
So we do a rotation, you know, ones that are outdated this year, say, right now we're up to date on stuff.
Okay,
But down the road, we start figuring what year that was bought.
so about when do you think we're gonna have to start replacing it?
8 years.
In 8 years, okay.
So they just bought a lot of brand new stuff.
Okay.
I also applied to Globe, who's the
Oh, yes,
manufacturer.
yep. That's one.
I have not heard from them. They hand out so many suits to volunteer fire departments in the
Yep.
country.
That's nice.
I put in for 6.
Yep, nice.
So eventually I can have it with some of the guys that are interior firefighters who have 2 sets of gear. They come back, that gear goes in a wash and they have the other set for backup.
Mhm. Okay, thank you for that one. All right, so just to reiterate, so I will update this based on what we heard today. And then I will take all the things that are within the next 6 years, I will put them on this tab here. And then the next time we get together in a month, we will review that list and prioritize.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
Good?
I have a couple of things I'd like to add
Yep, yep.
anytime that I can.
Yes, so let me just make sure that, confirm items, posting, we just talked about that. Under new business, I had grants, but we've talked about grants as we went along.
Yeah.
So, Steve, I think now's your time.
Okay. I think there's some misinformation, I'm not sure if that's going around, about how much money the town has in the unreserved fund balance. And the unreserved fund balance is monies that aren't spent out of the budget. That's where it ends up at the end of the year. Like a couple of years ago, we had a paving article on, and no paving was done. So that money ended up in the unreserved fund balance. And then when we go to set the tax rate at the end of the year, when we do it with the DRA, we don't do this on our own, we do it with the state. And they give us how much money we have in our unreserved fund balance and tell us what our range is, and the state recommends that you keep in your unreserved fund balance a minimum of 5% of your budget and a maximum of 17% of your budget.
Okay.
And if you go over the 17, because I've been doing this for over 20 years now, if you go over the 17, the state comes knocking on your door and says, Selectmen, you need to spend that down a little bit. that happened one time, maybe about 15 years ago, and so we did. We probably overspent it, because we went from 17 down to around 5, which is a little on the low side.
Yep.
And that's where we are now. When we went to set the tax rate this past December, the unreserved fund balance, which represented 6.04 of our budget, was at $299,626. So we don't have a lot of money in the unreserved fund balance, and it's nice to have that cushion should something unexpected happen, that we could be able to access it, but it would have to be an emergency, and we'd have to have a special town meeting in order to appropriate that money to spend. But we don't have a lot of money in the unreserved fund balance. Apparently we have a pretty good sum of capital reserves out there, and a lot of that could be spent for what we're looking at, but as far as dipping into our piggy bank, well, there's not much, the piggy is pretty empty.
Yes,
So I just wanted to say that, and
all right,
so everybody understands. Thanks.
yeah, thank you.
You're all set.
All right, and the last item here is public comment. Hi, Jake.
Something really short. It keeps coming up as the planning board has a role in this process. I don't believe that is the case. This should go pretty much to the budget of the selectmen, whoever's
No.
directing the budget.
The state regs require that the CIP reports to the planning board.
That's if the planning board is the one that's directing the project. The voters have authorized the selectmen to start the committee, so it's kind of a different route.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in putting it through the planning board, obviously.
Right.
But, I mean, Jake, he's
I-
technically right. I mean, the RSA's and the warrant article that enabled all this says that it was a subdivision of the select board. So the select board is the approving agent of the board, if you will.
Right, it's,
The planning board is good. It would probably get some good info from them, but it's not the approving.
Yeah, I believe that Jake's technically right too. However, I believe in passing it through the planning board,
I agree.
because I want everybody to buy into this.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't want to bypass
Right.
a group.
It's a good thing to do, but
You know,
it's
we can look
not
at
the
the
approval, that's all I'm saying.
article, and see the wording of it, but
Yeah,
it doesn't.
a lot of it is the same people. Thank you, that's good feedback. All right, I
I
guess,
voted to,
any other,
just to feed off of what Jake said, I don't have the actual wording of the 2024 warrant article, but it was warrant article 20, and it said to authorize selectmen to appoint a capital improvement plan committee.
which they did.
Right.
Okay, any other public comment?
No, I think the board's been doing very well, and it's good to see it coming to some kind of fruition. And the 6-year thing is exactly what Steve said. It says 5 years here. I won't have to be able to point, but the warrant article and the RSA all said 6. So
Okay.
there was some rationale to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just 5 or 6, but there was.
All right, well, yeah, so we'll take that.
But
Anything else? And then I guess I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So motion, so we're adjourned for the planning board to take over.
See you next month.
Yep, I've got a couple more copies, if Jake, if you want a copy, and Angus, if you want a
See
copy.
you guys later.
Keep in mind,
Thanks
this is
so
a
much.
draft.
Really appreciate it.
It's a draft.
That's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you very much for
Yes.
coming tonight.
What time do we adjourn?
We're done with the 3.
Oh, Heather. It's another really kind of question. The last one we spoke about police weapons, and that's 1 4, and we said maybe it's 2 rifles and 2 pistols. There's another one for 2 rifles.
Oh, well, that's Jeannie.
That's for the riflemen.
It's the rifle. What, do you know the answer to that?
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
Why is there 4 duty weapons?
Because there's 2 handguns and 2 rifles, I believe.
Then why is there another line for 2 rifles?
4
Oh,
handguns and
it's
2 rifles.
probably a typo, because as to my knowledge, there are 2 9mm pistols and the 2 rifles.
So
That is all I'm aware of.
So the line item for two duty weapons should be changed to 2, that's what you're saying?
Is that true? Is that correct?
Let me see exactly where it is.
I don't know.
Is it under police?
Yep,
Yeah.
under police.
For,
There should be two. Yeah, and actually, that's, I mean, those are
No.
those aren't capital improvements, right? We said those are budget.
Yeah, it's more of a budget thing, and it would be
They're not gonna end up on our-
Two handguns and, two handguns, 2 rifles is 4.
There's another line item for
Right.
2 rifles.
Right, so I changed it.
Okay.
Right, and it's not a capital improvement
Yeah,
anyway.
either way, I
It's
understand.
gonna come off of it.
It just seemed a little odd at first.
It does say 4 pistols in the comments.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Well,
officers do we have?
Is that your-
well, who are we equipping?
No, I have that.
Yeah.
You have a copy of it.
I know, just a question, you're right, if it says.
You gotta have one in each cut, right?
Two, oh, that's.